Rotary? Please raise your hand. And if not, well, I'm very happy to introduce our dear promoter of the walkathon, because he did the most miles last year, and that was quite impressive. And that, of course, motivated and inspired many of us to keep walking. So I've started walking, but I guess I'm that's just a little bit, but I'll try to. I'm not going to do as well as you, but I will keep walking. So thank you so very much. And it's my pleasure to introduce William. He will be sharing his experience as he attended the Rotary International Convention this past year in Calgary, Canada. So we're ready to listen to you, Will. Thank you for preparing and preparing this presentation. And we'll be listening to you. Thank you.
Okay. So I will share right now, okay?
Yes. Oh, he
Okay.
wants to share, so
He knows
Okay.
how.
he knows how. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you my experience of attending the RI convention held in Calgary, Canada. My speech today, I will talk about 4 parts. The first is in Calgary, and the second is a pre-convention. And the third is this year's Rotary Convention. And perhaps I want to introduce very briefly about the convention which will be held in Taipei next year from June 13th to 17th. So now, my dear fellow members, have you been to Calgary? Perhaps there are many of you who have never been to Calgary. In the past, I have never been to Calgary before I attended the RI convention this June. Up to now, I attended 6 RI conventions, including 12 in Bangkok, 14 in Sydney, 17 in Atlanta, 18 in Toronto, 23 in Melbourne, and this year, 25 in Calgary. But Calgary didn't give me a good impression. Do you know why? Before I went to Calgary, I went to Vancouver. I stayed there one night. A lady who lives in Vancouver told me that Calgary is not a beautiful place to visit. If I want to see beautiful scenic spots, that she suggested me to visit some national parks, such as Kootenai National Park, Waterton Lake National Park, Banff National Park, and so on. When I wanted to take a plane to Calgary, at Vancouver Airport, I needed to check in at the WestJet counter. You can see this from this picture. It's the airplane of WestJet. Yet the lady who looked at my passport and my air ticket, then she told me that she was not sure whether I'm the right person. In other words, she thought that I was not Lee William, because my name in my passport is Lee William, yet on the air ticket is written William Lee. So she went to consult the gentleman. Perhaps this gentleman was a Chinese-speaking serviceman. There were a lot of immigrants from China or Taiwan to Vancouver. So this gentleman might have told the lady, it's no problem. It's the same person. So she allowed me to check in. Finally, I could fly to Calgary. Then talking about the airlines company WestJet. Now, as you can see, the WestJet. I took many airlines such as Southwest, EVA Air, China Airlines, or even now in Taiwan, started they allowed to check in baggage each less than 23 kilograms and free of charge. But this time, I learned that every check-in baggage on WestJet needs fees. In other words, I needed to pay for every check-in baggage. I was so frustrated. When I registered for the RI convention in Taiwan, I didn't book for my accommodation hotel at the same time. I booked sometime later. So many cheap hotels had no vacant room for me to book. So eventually I found the hotel. From this picture you can see protocol, which is, as the photo shows, honestly, this hotel is not bad. Only it's the farthest hotel to the venue. Yet the advantage is it's very near to the Calgary airport. When I arrived on June 19th, I still didn't finish my registration to the RI. Besides the date, the local district arranged bus to each hotel to take the participants to the venue began from June 20th. The distance between my accommodation hotel to the venue is more than 13 km, 30 km. I had to take a bus from the hotel to a C train station. Then I took a train to the City Hall station. Then eventually, I still needed to transfer another train to the Victoria Park station, which is near the venue. It's very inconvenient for me. Yet, fortunately, this situation is only one day. On 20th June, we could take the picking up bus to the venue the whole day, from in the morning and to the evening. It's totally free of charge. Excellent. Now I want to talk about my impression of Calgary. There are several points. Number one, most or perhaps almost all stores will be closed by 6 p.m. If I want to buy something, it's no way. Number two, I like to eat fruits. I found that there were few stores that sell fruits, only in supermarkets. Yet the markets are also closed very early. Number three, in the past, when I wanted to buy something in other countries, I could pay both in credit card or cash. But the stores in Calgary didn't accept cash. For example, I was queuing and waiting to buy my breakfast. When it's my turn to order my breakfast, I told the service person I wanted to pay in cash. The person, a lady, told me they didn't accept cash. I had no choice but to give up having my breakfast. I starved. Another time, another store, when I wanted to eat dinner the same, I was forced to go back to the hotel restaurant to buy our dinner. From above, I didn't have good impression of Calgary. My goodness. That's only my personal opinion. Then I think that I have told some of our members that I am an Hawaii multi-district correspondent for New Zealand, Australia, and the Southeast Asian countries, including Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, and India. In the past few years, we have had mutual cooperation with Thailand, Indonesia, and India in Southeastern Asian countries, and also have had lots of cooperation with Australia. In the past decades, I have paid more attention to the cooperation with New Zealand in order to have an icebreaker exchange, Rotary Youth Exchange. Yet, zero. Whenever I register for the RI convention, I will also register for the Rotary Youth Exchange pre-convention because I am in charge of the RYE exchanges of the RYEMT in Taiwan. Now let's look at this is the center. In this center, we had all the sessions of Rotary Youth Exchange discussion. Then after the pre-convention, I met several friends from Mexico and from Ecuador, and we sit at the same table to have dinner. Now in the pre-convention, the RI President, Madame Stephanie Erchik, came to the venue to greet all the participants and gave us an encouraging speech. This year, 25, is the 50th anniversary of the RYE. So you can see from this picture, 50 years of RYE from 1975 to 2025. So we can see it's a very delicious cake and enjoy that. There are breakfast sessions to discuss over the RYE issues in each year's pre-convention. Every year, I attended the breakout session and take part in discussions. Now the two madams in the photo were the breakout session moderators, asking all the participants to talk about each question or issue which has occurred in the past years. The latter one is Linda Billman from Australia. She is a very good friend of mine. And the other is Melody from the USA. So the right lady is Melody. Not only these two madams, but the young lady, this young lady talked with me, is also a co-host in the discussion. This young lady is a Canadian and she went to Taiwan about 10 years ago, having had her Rotary Youth Exchange. In the late session, there was a narration on the screen of all exchanges. RYE shows most potential for new ways of peace building. In my mind, nowadays, personally, it's not very peaceful in the world. If the RYE can work harder, it might be possible to let the world become more peaceful. Some RI exchanges I'm familiar with, such as the Rotary Friendship Exchange and the Rotary Youth Exchange. In the past, I have had the experiences to participate in the RFES, Rotary Friendship Exchanges, several times. I went to Wisconsin, Toronto, India, and Sweden. It's a very unforgettable experience to me. Yet I believe that the RYEs deserve to put more effort, not only as the previous reason, most potential ways of peace building, but I also believe that we can let younger generations to broaden their horizon. Many young students, before having exchanges and after, they become quite different, and the majority of them have been toward the possible and better direction in their life, the positive and better direction in their life. So the RYE is very good, not only for the students who have had exchanges, but also for their parents. Most parents are satisfied with the changes of their kids because of the RYE. As we can see in the slide, the discussions are about. Then what is one thing I can commit to doing that will engage my club or district leaders in youth exchange? Another question is, how do you develop new trainings and skill building opportunities to truly prepare our youth ambassadors to be peace builders during and after their exchange? So I'm not so familiar with our pathways, our situation. I'm not familiar with our district condition either. From the data shown to us, there are still much more Rotary exchanges can do in the future. According to the statistics, there are only half of districts certified for RFE, but only 12% join in. 90% of districts certified for RYE, but only 16% join in. RFE and RYE historical positioning, fun, travel, fellowship, adventure of a lifetime need and or value more Rotarians understanding, equipped, and promoting positive peace-building language, tools, projects through exchanges. Since I'm a correspondent in charge of the RYEMT, so Rotary Youth Exchanges, I hope that there will be more Rotarians and more exchanges in the years to come. Our younger generations can get benefits by having Rotary Youth Exchanges. Then the world could be more peaceful in the long run. Now, from this picture, that we have the pre-convention session, breakout session, and there are several friends from Thailand, from Korea. The right person in my right, on my right is from Korea. Then the Melody also, yes, sitting by my side. Then another picture is the left on my side. On my left side is from Japan, and on my left side is from India. Now it's my dear fellow members, I think I have talked much about the RYE. Guess what? When I visited House of Friendship, I discovered that there was a booth, Pathways of Rotary Club's booth. Wow, it's our club's booth. I am so excited and hilarious. So I took a photo before the booth and also talked with a lady in this booth. So you can see, I'm so happy, very wonderful. When the general session opening ceremony was held, my wife and I participated in. There were some performances I liked very much. There was also the entering of the national flags of all members nations. The entering order is one by one in alphabetical order. It's quite long, so I only recorded a little bit, including my country, Taiwan. Let me show you that. Please enjoy this. No, it's huh? Why? So I can display. I can, yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, okay. After attending the opening ceremony, I once planned to have a one-day tour to Banff National Park, Waterton Lakes National Park for one-day tour. Yet it rained hard on that day. So I gave up the plan of visiting some beautiful scenic spots in Canada. It's a pity. Besides, my flight schedule going back to Taiwan was on June 24th. So I needed to leave the convention early. It's an imperfect experience. Hopefully in the future, I can stay longer to enjoy something beautiful and joyful when attending the RI convention. My dear fellow members, next year, the I World Convention will be held in Taiwan, Taipei. I look forward to your coming to Taiwan. If you can come, and if possible, I will go to the airport to pick you up because my house to the airport is only 15 minutes by driving. So see you in Taiwan next June. Thanks for your patient listening. Now I will turn the control back to our president, Eloisa. Thank you.
Well, thank you so very much, Will.
Okay.
It was wonderful listening to your experience at what you went through,
Yeah.
and of course, getting to see that picture where Pathways appears at the
Mm.
International Convention. Well, you've certainly conveyed really good news for us that I didn't know that there was a booth. So
Mm.
that's just wonderful. And of course, well, that's our Guatemala Literacy Project that we are very proud of. So thank you so very much.